guys, welcome to NIJ Changemakers. This is Priyanka. Today we have a very exciting interview, very flavorful interview with Chirag Gupta, who is the co-founder of 4700 BC Popcorn. Chirag, welcome to NIJ Changemakers. So thanks for being here. Really excited to talk to you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit now about 4700 BC has taken movie theaters by storm. I always stop by and look at the flavors. Sure. I am a huge fan of your mocha chocolate flavor and your cheese flavors. Sure. So tell me a little bit about, you were in the US before and you have come down here now to start a popcorn brand. So how did that happen?
So when I decided to move back, I think for good, I was looking at all the ideas where we can jump in. Okay. Right? And I had ideas more from the consulting background because I'm coming from there. I had friends who were saying that food is the hot sector right now in India.
Yeah. I love how you jumped into popcorn.
Yeah. So popcorn honestly is a very developed economy if you see from a US perspective. Yeah. Because corn is their major product. So I happened to see the product very closely growing in US market. Yeah. That was one of the key reasons why popcorn came as the first product in our mind. Okay. Right? And when we started searching what is happening in the popcorn market in the country, there was literally nothing happening in the country, right? So the only access people had to popcorn was in cinemas, right, or the rediwalas, right, in the country. There was a huge gap between a cinema or a rediwala, right?
Whereas in the US, you can get it
Anywhere, right? I think
you can even get it at like a petrol pump if you really want.
Exactly. Yeah. So like it's more organized, it's everywhere, and it's a snack. If somebody understands, like in cinema, people are eating every day. Yeah. Right. Beyond cinemas, nobody even know where to get the popcorn. Yeah. Right. Right. So if I'm watching a movie at home, I don't know where to get a good popcorn from. Right.
That's a good point.
So I'm actually dependent on maybe a microwave popcorn, which is somewhere available, not everywhere, but very limited. Right. Yeah. So and then I have an equipment dependency, then I need a microwave or a cooker or something to make the popcorns also. Yeah. So the efforts are much higher to consume a popcorn in India than elsewhere, anywhere else in the country. So we thought let's get our hand dirty, let's try this.
Is there a differentiating factor between your popcorn and so supposing I love your cheese flavors and your caramel flavors. Sure. This is something that is very common in a movie theater, right? If I go. Now, is there a differentiating factor between your caramel popcorn or your cheese popcorn and a movie theater's cheese popcorn?
So there are two basic differences, right? One is the whole process of making it, right? It's the way cinema people makes, they want something to be ready in 2 or 3 minutes, right? For us to make a good product, right, it cannot be like 2-3 minutes kind of a product, right? Yeah. So we actually follow the whole process of making a caramel in-house, doing the coating of each popcorn with caramel properly. That's why there's a consistency in the product.
I've not had lunch yet, Chirag. I'm so hungry now. That's incredible though. So you really take the time.
Right. And so it's just because the way the cinema works is very different from where a product actually needs to be like done. Okay. Right. They want everything to be done in 2-3 minutes gap, right? Whereas we actually take a process which is 2 hours long to get the right product out.
Now, how does that affect the cost?
It does to a certain extent, but obviously we are still much cheaper if you compare prices from a cinema because that's much skyrocketing prices. Yep. And because they're serving in a captive environment, right? And they have other expenses also to take care of. But I think we're still cheaper if you compare from a cinema perspective, but we are still expensive if you compare from a plain naked butter popcorn.
Got it.
Right? We always want to position as a brand which is an edge above any other brand in the market.
Now you started as just a stall in DLF, right? In Saket.
Correct.
And now as of 2017-18, your turnover was 10 crore. Right. So how did you get from, especially, we have a lot of young viewers and young entrepreneurs in all phases of their company, phase 0, 1, 2, 3. Was it, what were some of the challenges that you faced being a stall and turning into what you are today?
See, I think the one thing, which really worked, and I think which everybody should try to do it is, I think the game is much bigger and longer, right? If you have a longer vision of what you're gonna want to do with your brand, with your product, and how the market's gonna evolve it and try to work towards that evolution, I think you will get there, right? So honestly, when we started, we were very immature from starting a business perspective, right? But we actually came and understood how we can do that model. We completely transformed from what customer feedback we used to get. We continuously worked on where the gap in the market and get to a perspective and to a selling point where everybody is able to reach out to a product, right? So what was happening was we were in the store and we were not able to deliver to consumers which were sitting at watching a movie at houses, right? So we thought there's a huge gap and we need to get into a packaged food format. So we are literally serving every airline, every train in the country, so we want to fill that gaps. So we are trying to continuously evolve ourselves and understand the market.
So now what next for now? Well, not 15 to 20 years for you yet. 2013 was when you started.
Correct.
2019 now. But now you're, as you mentioned, you're on planes, you're on trains, you're in movie theaters, you're all over the place. What next?
So honestly, I think we still need to reach out to a larger consumer base.
Okay.
I think we want to keep penetrating deeper and deeper into the market, right? We started from the top. We were in the malls, we were in the movie theaters, but I think the large population of our country still doesn't have access to these areas all the time. So we need to reach out to a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, keep focusing on a quality at the same time, keep bringing the price down so that we can be accessible to all those people.
Okay.
So recently we got into a 10-20 rupees market and we're trying to penetrate with that product right now, which we are not there yet.
Okay.
I think penetration is the key for us to reach out to the larger consumer base, and I think we will continue to focus on our quality. And
so I have a question then. Why would a tier 3 person go for a popcorn brand that is very fancy versus, you know, what they are used to, like a 5 rupee, 10 rupee sort of thing in a theater?
So see, ultimately a consumer is driven by the flavors and the taste, right? If we get those two things right and we're just asking a 5% premium or 10% premium over that thing because we are delivering something better, right? I think fanciness comes from, I would call fanciness as a way of marketing our product, right? Because if your product looks fancy, it looks attractive, you're half of the marketing done.
The quality is better, clearly.
Right, but a person only judge the product from the face first of all, right, before even buying it. So if we are fancy, if you're looking sexy in the pack, I think they will eventually buy the first product, right? So it literally helps us reduce our marketing costs if our packaging is good.
That's awesome. And now, you know, when you're spreading into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, this is your sort of next phase. Now, I think we were speaking a little bit about this before we started rolling the camera, but in 2013, I was in the US as well at that point in time, and in 2012, the word entrepreneur, I remember with my parents was, you know, like, there was no even definition for it. It wasn't a thing. It was either doctor, lawyer, engineer. What do you want to do? You know, and when I said I wanted to be a journalist, my mom just kind of gave that, Are you sure not a doctor? Are you sure not a lawyer? So it was just those three. That's all you could do. And today, the word entrepreneurship in the country, as you said, you were reading about India constantly. There were so many changes, a lot of rapid transitions from 2014, I would say, onwards, 2013 onwards, 2012 onwards when you were reading. Do you feel that the entrepreneurial scene today in India is better? Like, would you advise somebody to come from the US and start something of their own over here?
As you rightly said, 10 years back, the only option people had was whether to go for a medical or an engineering, right?
Yep.
And there was
or law.
Or law. But
that was also.
You need to be very 10 years looking ahead to become a lawyer in the country. So it was a tougher option, right, out of the three. But I think that has opened up with I think Indian people going out of the country, reaching out to, you know, seeing what is happening in the world, bringing some knowledge back to India. I think that has opened up the options people have now, right? So like you said it in US, I said it in US. Now our way of looking at things is much broader than we were able to look at before.
And here we are in Delhi.
Exactly. And right.
Do you feel that transformation is coming from just there are two factors. You know, our country is a very young country. We have a very dynamic country. A lot of young people, over 65% are under 35,
30%.
right? The Prime Minister, the government is also pushing for entrepreneurship. The
Correct.
fact that you have to create jobs.
Correct.
You've created a lot of jobs through
Sure.
your company as well.
Sure.
How many employees do you have?
We have 225 people.
Which is creating jobs, which is exactly what the
Correct.
government is striving for, because
Sure.
and I feel that that's right, because the government can't provide all the jobs, right? It's also up to the citizens to kind of do our thing
Right.
and do our part as well, which you are doing, and
Correct.
you're an example for that.
Sure.
Do you feel that this is a very positive government push, and where do you see it going in the future, especially with the trajectory of your company?
See, if any country wants to grow, which India has now been projected as one of the fastest growing economies, I think they need to support this,
Yeah.
right? No country can develop on just 2 pillars or 3 pillars, right?
Yeah.
They need multiple pillars to grow in all directions,
Yeah.
right? So whether we are going to a Mars or landing on Moon now, I think that's all, making development in all areas and not just one, right? So that was the challenge with the country 20 years back, where we were just producing engineers or doctors, right? But now we are able to produce people who are, across industries,
Yeah.
right? And that's how the economy will grow.
Yeah.
So I think the government has identified, I think the top people sitting in the country has identified they cannot just grow on 2 pillars,
Yeah.
right? So that's what they're doing right? So development needs to happen across, right?
Yeah.
Whether it is the food industry, whether it is building brands out of India, right? So I think if you analyze, there are not too many brands coming out of India globally, right?
Yeah.
That's something government has also realized. They're promoting brands, they're putting money, they're investing money in entrepreneurs. They're giving platforms for at least entrepreneurs to showcase what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's not even that. That's also, that's just very basic fundamental things. Also, you mentioned in the beginning of this interview that, multiple sectors actually
Correct.
are going from unregulated to regulated right now.
Correct.
There's actually provisions for that now.
Correct.
Before there were not,
Right.
So I think when you say government has to think of multiple things,
Correct.
they actually at least have, granted that there may be still work to go, but
Correct.
at least the foundation is set.
Correct. So if you have those pillars, I think at least somebody has to build over it. So I think the one step has to come from the entrepreneurs or the business people in the country, and the
Which is
second step has to come from the government, right?
Exactly.
So I think it's basically both has to run in parallel. So if we take one step, the government will automatically take the other step.
Yeah.
But if they don't see anything happening, they will also lose focus on
Which is natural.
Which is natural,
Yeah,
right?
that's in any
so
place.
I think that's how the economies grow worldwide. I think that's something happening right in the country. I think it just should continue happening for next 20 years.
Awesome. I really hope it does,
Yeah.
because I really want to see in 20 years when I'm in Saket buying your popcorn, I want to see, 100 different flavors of.
I think, and then I think you should not even need to come to Saket. You should be able to just message on your phone, and you should get your popcorn delivered to your place.
That would be amazing.
Right? So it needs to develop to that level, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it will, and I would love to see that happen. So good luck to you. Now I actually want to try some of the popcorn, because honestly, I go and I have the same flavors all the time.
Sure.
So you have brought some flavors that are doing the best, I believe,
Correct.
that are the most
Correct.
popular.
Correct.
So can we try the popcorn?
Sure.
Awesome. Cool. So I have been binging on this is Nutty Tuxedo, correct?
Yep.
So good. I've been binging on Nutty Tuxedo and
Sour cream and
sour cream. It's really, really good. But we just got to know that my cameraman has not tried 4700 BC popcorn, which is unfathomable to me. So these are all, Chirag, these are all your retail flavors,
Yes,
correct?
we have 6 of them, and we have 1 butter, 3 cheese, 2 caramel.
Awesome. So I'm going to call our cameraman now to try some different flavors. This is Hawaiian barbecue cheese popcorn.
It's so good.
Little on the spicy side, but
It's a little spicy, but it's like sweet after.
yeah. Why don't you try sour cream and wasabi?
How did you decide? So wasabi is like a exotic flavor.
So yes, so we wanted to keep all our flavors very close to Indian taste buds. So that's why the sour cream is like the 80% of this flavor.
Okay.
But we want to give a hint of exoticness to it.
The
Have you
normal-
ever tried wasabi popcorn?
No.
I think you should try the chocolate one. So this is Nutty Tuxedo chocolate. It has all 3 chocolates, milk, white and dark. So this is the most giftable product from our side. It goes.
This is very unique.
This is one of the highest sellers on Amazon also,
Yeah.
because it's most giftable chocolate and
So
sweet.
good. Can we try one more? Can we
Sure.
try the orange chili?
Sure. We wanted to do a flavor which is little bit on the fruity side. See, all our sweet flavors, we wanted, like Indian audience panels doesn't like all the sweet seeds, so we always added a hint of like a salt or chili, so that there's a hint of something.
So it's
So that's
orange chili.
Chili. So like
Okay.
chili is not dominating in this,
Yeah.
but if you eat a lot, you will get a sense of it.
What was your favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
The chocolate one?
Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor?
Actually, that's one of my favorite too. It's Nutty Tuxedo because it has all 3 chocolates.
Nutty
It actually,
Tuxedo.
if you think it's one of the easiest us to design, like just put all 3 chocolates and come out with the flavor, but it actually came out very nice. And actually, we did the least research on that product, like
Really?
to make it. But this is one of our highest
Best
seller
selling.
from day one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But congratulations to you on all your
Thank you.
success. Sorry for opening up so many of your bags of popcorn. All we've been doing all morning is eating your popcorn. Naresh, are you going to buy 47BC popcorn? now?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna buy it. All of them.
All of them?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think you have one more sale right here. And that's a wrap for NIJ Changemakers. This is Priyanka Deo. Till next time, signing off.